I will never forget the insanity of Black Friday 2006.
It is a night of anticipation, another night of anticipation for video game fans as Nintendo's latest console goes on sale just after midnight.
The Nintendo Wii and the PlayStation 3 were released just about a week before Black Friday, just 2 days apart from each other.
Oh, these people, insane.
I remember just answering the phone. It would ring almost non-stop my entire shift. The question was always, do you have a Nintendo Wii in stock?
Holy God!
But first, a word about this video's sponsor, Incogni. Growing up in the 90s, believe it or not, we didn't even have the internet. That's right, guys. My family didn't even own a computer until 1996. And you know what? We really didn't need to worry about having our private data stolen and plastered all over the World Wide Web for all to see. Unfortunately, it's the 21st century, and privacy is a thing of the past. Luckily, Incogni is here to help. Data brokers collect, aggregate, and sell personal information including names and aliases, social security numbers, login credentials, home addresses, and much more. This can lead to spam, loss of control over personal data, or identity theft. And guys, I've already been a victim of identity theft once. Several years ago, I got a call from a rental car company at New York's LaGuardia Airport telling me I had missed my return date. Thing is, I never rented a car from LaGuardia. Someone had used my stolen identity. Never again, I say. With Incogni, I don't have to worry about my information getting into the wrong hands. Incogni reaches out to data brokers on your behalf, requests your personal data removal, and deals with any objections from their side. With the Family and Friends plan, you can also add up to 4 members to your subscription, meaning they benefit from the same exact service you do. Take your personal data back with Incogni. Incogni is available risk-free for 30 days, or you can use my code MyRetroLife at the link below and get 60% off an annual plan. Thank you, Incogni, for sponsoring today's video. Well, guys, it's another Black Friday. Or is it really more like a Black Month? I mean, these days, the sales last all month long. At every retail chain you can think of, the Black Friday sales have already started, and you watching right now have probably already done most of your Black Friday shopping. It's so different than what it was like almost 20 years ago.
People finally getting their hands on the PlayStation 3, but in some places, the wait for the new game got ugly. Turn around and look at this. A Wisconsin man was hurt while fighting a crowd to get in line.
The Nintendo Wii and the PlayStation 3 were released just about a week before Black Friday, just 2 days apart from each other. This was almost unheard of back in the day. 2 major consoles being released for the holiday season by 2 major competitors, Nintendo and Sony.
The Nintendo Wii goes on sale at midnight, just days after the PlayStation 3 hit store shelves.
It was no joke they were going head to head, but there was something entirely different with Nintendo's approach to this console launch.
We would like to play.
Make your me, then play it on Wii.
The Nintendo Wii was not necessarily trying to go head-to-head with the Sony PlayStation 3 or the Xbox 360, which had been released the year prior in 2005. No, Nintendo was onto something different. With the Wii, they were releasing a console that had just about the same amount of power and specs as their previous console, the Nintendo GameCube.
There it is. Whoa. First time in Texas.
This console was mainly being marketed for its gimmick. The Wii Remote, or the Wiimote as everybody called it, was the main selling factor here. And Wii Sports, which was bundled in with the Wii, was the biggest thing since Tetris, guys. I mean, this was a game that could appeal to everybody. Wii Sports was a phenomenon, and thus the Wii console was a phenomenon that Christmas. It could not be found on store shelves.
Several stores in our area are planning to be open to sell the Wii units to very eager customers. Gamers who've tried Wii say they love the controllers, which actually match the player's movements to the action on the screen.
As somebody who was employed at GameStop, I knew going into that holiday season that it was going to be a toss of the dice for me to get a Wii. Of course, I wanted the Nintendo Wii because it was a brand new Nintendo console, but I'd be lying to you guys if I told you I was super excited for it. There was something about the launch of this Nintendo console that just wasn't doing it for me. Everything we had seen ahead of time at E3 and in the various gaming magazines and online, I knew going in that I was going to have to fall in love with motion controls if I was really going to love this console. But as an OG Nintendo fan since I was a little boy, when I first got my Nintendo Entertainment System back in Christmas of 1989, I knew I needed the console. I had to have it. It was in my blood. It felt like Nintendo and their consoles and games were just a part of me.
What's this, Tyler? Nintendo. That's right.
It was going to be next to impossible for me to secure my Nintendo Wii during that Black Friday. For any of you out there who have never worked retail on Black Friday, I'm going to try my best to give you an idea of the chaos and the insanity that was Black Friday 2006 at GameStop. Now, I was very fortunate, guys, because I did not have to work that midnight on Black Friday. What I do remember is coming in Black Friday during the day to absolute chaos.
Hello, we are online for the V's.
I was kind of coming in the middle of a shift, and the store was already open, and it was complete pandemonium. I remember walking through that door and just my store associates that I worked with, it was just madness inside the store, which this store wasn't the biggest of GameStops, and it was just packed with people. You could not even maneuver. I remember going in through the door and having to kind of slide my way around and wiggle my way through this sea of people that were in the store. And I could see the look on my boss's face, one of the other employees that was working there. It was like, thank you. I'm so glad you're here. Please, you've got to help. You've got to help us. We're drowning here.
Do you need the controller, man? You need the nunchuck, the other part of the controller?
I remember immediately going to the back room, grabbing my lanyard off the little hook that we had back there, putting it on, and from that moment forward, it was on. I got behind that cash register, and all I remember the rest of that day was just a sea of people, their hands reaching out and pointing up at the shelf behind me. Just people talking over each other constantly, not even really being able to hear or understand the individual conversations that were happening with my coworkers. And it was just constantly working the register and adhering to, the requests of the customers.
Those people, insane.
Can you get me that game? Oh, let me get this game. And because it's Black Friday, people are buying in large amounts. I just remember people constantly coming in and asking, do you have a Nintendo Wii? Do you have the Wii? Hey, got any Wiis? The answer was always no. No, we're sold out. We're sold out of Nintendo Wii. It got so crazy in there that at one point the UPS truck showed up and customers were actually hassling the UPS driver thinking that he was bringing us new shipments of Nintendo Wii. That's how crazy the demand was for the Nintendo Wii.
Guerrera, Michael Guerrera. Oh, one sec. Guerrera.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
It got to a point where I could see moms and grandmas, aunts, walking towards the window outside the store, and I'm looking out and I could immediately, I knew they were looking for the Nintendo Wii. And so they would come in and I would immediately say, without them even asking, I would just say, we're sold out of Nintendo Wii. At one point, I was put on phone duty, just completely on phone duty. My boss or my other store employees, they said, Tyler, you handle the phones. We're going to just, take care of the customers. And so I remember just answering the phone constantly. I mean, it would ring almost nonstop my entire shift. And every time I answered the phone, the question was always, do you have a Nintendo Wii in stock? And I got so tired. I got so tired of saying, no, we're sold out, that I started answering the phone this way. Thank you for calling GameStop, where we are currently sold out of Nintendo Wii. And then sometimes people would just immediately hang up. I would just hear the click on the other side because I told them immediately. They didn't even say hi or oh, thanks. It was just click. That was it. And once this guy actually called and I said that, where we're currently sold out of Nintendo Wii. And he misheard me, or he heard what he wanted to hear. And he said, you have it? You have the Wii in stock? And I had to reiterate, no, we don't have the Wii. So disappointed. Oh, thank you. Okay. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of enjoyed disappointing those people because I was so tired of hearing the question. I remember hearing people say that they had been searching all across Southwest Houston looking for a Nintendo Wii, and they were coming up short. This was just, my personal experience at GameStop. I can't imagine working these mega chains, giant stores like Best Buy or Target, Walmart during Black Friday, during this particular console launch that was so legendary, with two consoles being released. I mean, Nintendo Wii and PlayStation 3. I will never forget the insanity of Black Friday 2006.
Oh my gosh, you did get a Wii!
Well, you might be wondering, Tyler, how did you end up getting your Nintendo Wii that Christmas, or did you even get it? The answer to that is yes. Tyler, get it.
A Wii!
Thank you. We learned French this year. Oui, oui.
Oui. Some of the Wiis that we got in were allocated for walk-in customers, not pre-order customers. And so my boss let us hold onto two Nintendo Wii units, one that I bought and one that my dad purchased.
Wow. We knew you had to go to the bathroom, so we gave you the Wii.
The reason we bought 2 was because at the time my dad had remarried and I had a stepbrother who really also wanted a Nintendo Wii.
Strike.
I was still so excited for the Nintendo Wii that Christmas, even though I was sort of getting to a point in my life where video games were taking a bit of a backseat. You know, I really was kind of getting burnt out working at a GameStop. My love for video games was becoming my work. And so video games was definitely not my number one thing in my life at that point.
Excite truck.
Oh, wow.
Awesome. For the Wii.
For the Wii.
But I was still so excited for that Nintendo Wii on Christmas because opening up a Nintendo console on Christmas, I mean, that was part of my roots. That was like my core memory, being a kid, 3 years old, opening up my Nintendo Entertainment System.
What's this, Tyler? Nintendo. That's right.
Nintendo just made you feel like a kid again. No matter what age you are, opening up a Nintendo console on Christmas is something magical. And for all of you out there who maybe have kids that might be receiving their first Nintendo console, maybe you're buying it this Black Friday, the Nintendo Switch, your kids are in for an amazing time and they're gonna just love it. And maybe, just maybe, they're going to create a core memory out of opening up that game console. Maybe it's their first. One of the things I loved so much about working at GameStop was just being able to sell these consoles to little kids and their parents and just seeing the look of joy on their faces, the excitement, or maybe the excitement in the eyes of a parent who was buying these consoles for their kids for Christmas. I remember that was a great feeling because you just knew that you had a little part to play in providing that kid a core memory that was about to be made. And it was really cool. I remember that. And that's probably what I missed the most about working retail back then.
Thank you. Oh my god.
And really, it's not usually because of the gift itself or the game or the console itself. It's the memory of receiving it from you that I think they're going to hold on to the most. Because that's what I remember. That's what I remember the most about these game consoles and these games. It's not the games themselves. It's the fact that my family and my parents, my dad, you know, would get these things for me. I received them from him. And that's where the memory got created. Everything came full circle that Christmas. I opened up the last video game console that I ever received from my dad. And it was a Nintendo console. It was a Nintendo Wii. It was a fitting bookend to an amazing childhood.